Morning, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another What Else is Going On, aka We Go Podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. I am so glad to be back with y'all. As y'all know, and some of y'all may not know, I was out in New Orleans, y'all visiting. I was gonna say my baby brother, but my younger brother. I'm the oldest, and then I have another brother that's 5 years younger than me, and then another brother that's a little less than a year younger than him. And so my younger brother, him and his wife had a house in DC, and then they loved New Orleans, bought a house there, and they just had my nephew, who's 8 months old, who's the sweetest thing, y'all. And I just had a good time. Also, the sun tore me up. Y'all probably can see it. Y'all look like I look like a baby. I got a bib on. The podcaster's the baby. Look at this. I know that I love the sun, but the sun doesn't always love me, and I should be reapplying sunscreen every hour when I'm outside, but especially that New Orleans sun. Y'all, the back of my neck is tore up from the day of the Jazz Fest or the day before. Cool. Me and the hubby went out on like an hour and a half workout, like walking. Like I did it on my face and my neck, and child forgot to do. I had on a sports bra. That's what I feel like. But I'm putting my hydrocortisone on it and everything. So, but I'm so glad to be back with y'all. So I decided to take today off because I missed y'all. I want to get out my Atlanta review. Also, for my members, shout out to everybody who's become a member. Y'all, thank all of y'all. Every single subscriber, watcher, person who shared the video, whether you agree with what I'm saying or not, respectfully. I really do appreciate y'all, and I will never take y'all for granted, and I will never stop thanking y'all. I feel like we're building a real community here on YouTube. And again, I truly, truly appreciate y'all. I really, really do. So, oh yeah, so I took off. Child, the sun got me. What's today? So I took off today. So right after I do this quick video, I'm gonna watch Atlanta, do my review, and then for my members, I want to watch the after shows together. I've said this before. I did it before with Salt Lake City, but the playback was lagging, so the words weren't matching the lips. I'm gonna try to see if I can figure that out today so we can watch the Atlanta playback together. If not, I'm just gonna have to do it as a recap video and have the hubby figure it out. Shout out to the hubby. He had brought my mic with me. He was like, here you go. In case you want to do a little vlog. He is really, really, really encouraging. Also, we got to see his brother who lives in Mississippi and my nieces and nephews. So that was cool. But let's get into some things. So my brother, my middle brother, Ronnie, he is into the pop culture. I love it. We can talk about everything. He'll be like, did you hear about this? Did you do a video about that? He is very much into it. So we got to talking about TD Jakes. Did y'all see TD Jakes stepped down? So when I first heard the news, I was like, I could see him saying it was because of his health scare, which would make sense, right? You have a heart attack, a heart thing while you're preaching. It's like, maybe I need to slow down. Then there is a part of me that wonders, was the heart thing, did it just happen? Or was it due to stress from all these allegations, not just the Diddy thing? Because look, there are people that have been seen with Diddy in pictures and at his day parties and have nothing to do with what was going on after hours, right? There are some people that say because TD Jakes was a pastor, he should have had no affiliation with Diddy. I feel like this is where, for me, there are other Christians that may look at me and say, well, what type of Christian are you? Or you, I'm not judgmental at all, right? But I always feel like sometimes there's a story behind the story that behind the picture that we don't see. Now, should TD Jakes be at parties, Diddy parties, after hours, or what have you? No, I don't feel like it. However, if he was now, then here is where it's like, he could be his spiritual advisor, right? Specifically talking to Christians now, y'all think everyone needs uh some type of advisement or you want to lead people to God, right? So couldn't that have been what TD Jakes is doing? But then when you look and see what Diddy was doing under his advisement, it's like, well, you can't make a person do right. But also, if you're his spiritual advisor and praying over him and with him, you would like to think you say a prayer changes, that prayer would change somebody, right? So it's like so I could see, if, I don't know. Now I'm rethinking my own word. I don't know. It does look sus when you see him with him, but also there may have been nothing going on him with Diddy. What y'all think? You see how you could look at it and say, well, great, he had spiritual advisement, but then at the same time, it's like, okay, but he was doing this stuff for years and never stopped, did he? So at what point, but then maybe TD didn't know about what he was doing. But then also, TD, if you're talking to God, God ain't give you no like feelings or discernment, like something may not be right over here. There's a darkness over here. I don't know. Now that I'm talking it through, y'all let me know what y'all think. So I say all that again to go back and say everybody that we saw in a picture with Diddy, saw on a boat with Diddy, may not have known about the after party is the after party and, all of that stuff. And apparently the hotel hallway, judging from that video with Cassie. But I was wondering, did the heart stuff come from the stress of not only him and the Diddy, people associating him with Diddy because we saw him with Diddy, but also the men accusing him of doing things to them. Diddy, TD has his own accusers for sexual harassment and all of that. So I was wondering if that was part of his stress too. I wanted to see something. I just want to see. I wanted to read something to y'all real quick, and I didn't have it up. So, TD Jakes was um, sued for sexual assault, and then he responded back for defamation. So I'm going to give you 1 second. He responded back saying, I filed the suit because if you don't ever speak back, it just continues to go on and on and on. And I decided enough was enough. Now, there was a man named Dwayne Youngblood who went on the YouTube, he went on Larry Reid's show back in October of 2024. And we didn't cover that here, and said that TD Jakes tried to groom and sexually abuse him um, when he was 18 or 19. Now, Youngblood is in his late 50s right now. So he said, from start to finish, Dwayne Youngblood's tale of grooming and attempted sexual assault at the hands of Bishop T.D. Jakes is patently false. That's what T.D. Jakes' attorney said. So T.D. Jakes was sued for sexual assault. He responded back for defamation. So I was wondering, between the stress of that and then people like questioning him being with Diddy, if that's what caused the heart things, the heart attack, everything that happened to him, or was it just a coincidence? Shout out to Nene Leakes. So let's get into his statement. This is according to People. 67-year-old Bishop revealed that his daughter and son-in-law are taking over as senior pastors of the Potter's House in July, but he will remain board chairman. Bishop T.D. Jakes, a renowned Christian pastor and motivational speaker, is stepping down from his church leadership role, a move that was years in the making. Okay, well, that part didn't know, but also comes months after he experienced a medical emergency during a sermon. In an announcement shared during the Potter's House Sunday service in Dallas, Jakes revealed that he has tapped his daughter, Sarah Jakes Roberts, and son-in-law, Teray Roberts, as his successors. The pair will begin their new roles as senior pastors in July. According to local affiliate outlets Fox 4 and NBC DFW, Jakes, while holding back tears, also shared that he will remain chairman of the Potter's House Board of Directors. You have been faithful to God and you have been faithful to me, TD told the congregation during his Sunday morning service, and I'm so grateful. The bishop's decision comes 5 months after he had a massive heart attack during a sermon on November 24th, which was shared widely via a live stream at the time. Again, there's people that are going to be straight up like, it was because of his heart thing, and his heart thing was just something that happened. It had nothing to do with uh, the media and what's going on and the lawsuits and the Diddy of it all of that. And I get that. However, there are going to be some, and I'm going to admit me one of them, that wonders if the heart attack and all of that kind of like stem from the stress of everything that's going on in his life. Now, again, I didn't know it had been years in the making, him stepping down. Maybe some of y'all have heard that, but from where I saw, it looked like he was going to go on until he couldn't anymore. And maybe this is his couldn't, right? Maybe he feels like I need to step down for my health and for mental and physical health. I don't know, but I'm gonna ask y'all, what do y'all think? Do y'all think that possibly everything going on could have something to do with it? And I do wonder if the noise goes away, because also Diddy's trial is coming up next week. Once the Diddy trial has gone away, once it's over, all of these things, say a year or 2 years from now, will he resurface as pastor? But then where does that leave his daughters? Would he gift them their own church and come back to this church? Like, I just really wonder if there's a difference in between not wanting to step down, but knowing that you have to for your health, and not wanting to step down, but knowing you have to because maybe it could save your church from even more things coming out. Like, I wonder if he feels like, well, if I'm no longer the front-facing face of my church, more people won't come out with more rumors. And that may not necessarily stop people if they have things to say, but I'm just wondering, y'all let me know what y'all think. But yeah, TD is stepping down. Oof, in the words of TD himself, get ready, get ready, get ready. All right, next up on Instagram, Angela Oakley, sort of, kind of, not quite, but kind of, sort of, but not quite, tries to clear up some rumors. Let's get into what she does, doesn't, kind of, sort of not. Again, I know y'all may have heard this already, but we discussing it as a community. So let's see. That bang, child, that's a Cynthia wig.
Let's clear that up because we can clear, and it more will come out in the show. When he got drugged out of Madison Square Garden, like, I see people are saying that's not a big deal. This is Charles Oakley going to the New York Knicks game, a team that he gave his blood, sweat, and tears. He has bruises on him to this day, scars that will never heal from playing in that arena. So he's at a game and he gets drugged out on national television. That's just like someone coming in here, dragging you out of here unprovoked for life. And this is a man with, I'm not going to say ego, but ego.
Pride.
Who's, who has pride. So when that happened to him, that was traumatic. And when I say traumatic, I didn't recognize him anymore. And I don't even think he knew who he was anymore because everything was snatched from him. So we separated in that time. Yes, we separated, meaning you go do you go figure this out, and I'll be here when you need my support. But you can't keep pushing my support away because he didn't know what it was. Like, he didn't understand what was happening to him. So I gave him grace. Now, with that being said, he got to see if this is what he wanted. And, in that time, he found his way back home. But that's what happened. But go ahead.
Okay, but he did. So he did have a son or a baby.
No.
He didn't have an outside baby.
No.
I don't want to call baby outside, but all your kids are between the two of you.
No, he has a son.
Okay, now help me out, friend.
But you see, I don't know when it's coming out because I kind of wanted to play out on the show because I love that this Wendy Williams story is kind of like growing legs.
Okay.
This is something that happened in 2020 where I saw Wendy at a party, and me being a fan of Wendy is like, oh my God, Wendy, you going through it, sis. Let me tell you, it's just a baby. And Charles and Wendy have been friends 30 years. Like, they known each other. So he's been on her show. And so they had an event together, and we're coming together to cook for this event. And I'm like, Wendy, girl, stay with your husband. It's just a baby. And she was like, get the away from me. She was like, has that ever happened to you? And I'm like, yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This lady goes on her big platform and says, I pointed to my husband, who actually wasn't even around us in this conversation. And I'm like, no, Wendy, my daughter's father, my 25-year-old father, did that to me.
Oh.
So I'm like, and the best thing that ever happened to me was my.
Oh, okay. It stopped there. Yeah, that's what it is. She said that's the best thing that ever happened to her and then it stopped. But I'm still confused. I'm still like, I feel like, and I've said this before, Angela will say we were broke up because remember, she said in this interview, he got to decide what he wanted to do. We watched the incident, and it was a lot, I will say that. And I have never been through it. I mean, I know that was public humiliation and all of that. Because like I said, I did a video about it here some months ago, maybe last month, when Atlanta was first premiered this season. And I'm going to say this, it was a lot. And I could see, again, the public humiliation and then the whole stadium cheering for him, like on his side. I know that had to feel good, but him being dragged out like that, I can see how that would play on you mentally. How and ever playing on you mentally and having to get yourself together mentally is one thing. To me, when I hear that, I think, see a therapist, speak to someone, get all of these feelings out. I don't immediately think of, do I still want my marriage? Because she's saying, again, he had to decide if this is what he wanted and ties it into him going through that at Madison Square Garden, being dragged out at Madison Square Garden. So I can see them. They probably broke up, like she said, and she's like, here's your chance to see what you want. Now, I don't know I guess maybe he found his therapy, could have been he found his therapy through legs to the moon. Everybody finds their therapy in different ways, right? Everybody gets their release in different ways. Everybody gets their healing in different legs. Oh, I said, geez, in different ways. Wait a minute. I realized what I said. Like everybody gets their healing in different ways. And maybe his was through legs. I don't know. Legs behind, whatever. But it just, I don't know. I think what she'll say is, and she says it's going to come out. We got to watch this season, but I feel like it's going to come out that basically, same thing with what Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. We were broke up. Well, see, to me, separation and a breakup is different. If we're separating to try and work things out, let's take time apart to see if this is what we want. What are the parameters and guidelines of our separation? Are we taking this time apart to be with ourselves, going to work, going to school, doing whatever, living our life, seeing, going to therapy, working on ourselves, seeing if this is our partner is what we want? Or are we living like two single people, dating, doing whatever, and seeing if we're going to come back to each other? Because those are two different things. And those two different things will determine how we're acting when we're separated. To me, separated, saying, if my husband was like, well, or I told him we need to separate, we would have to child, I'm itching, y'all. We need to lay it out. Okay, cool. We can date other people in the separation, but having babies. But again, so if you're separated to possibly work things out, to me, I guess, I don't know. It's different than separating and we already know we're breaking up. So I'm sure she'll say, if this is the case, that his son came about when they were separated and weren't together. So for her, that was okay because he was still figuring things out. We did hear her say her oldest daughter's father had a baby on her while they were together. So I don't know. It does seem like Angela, I love Angela on the show. Let's be clear from what I've seen so far, but I wish she would say, look, me and Charles were separate. Now, maybe she can't, but if she can't, because it's actually going to come out, because, we'll have these people on these shows that'll say, you got to watch the season and don't nothing happen to give us the answer that we want. But if it's going to be revealed on the show, I wish she would say, look, y'all, I promise you, I cannot answer now. Watch the show. Y'all going to get the answers and stop trying to half answer. Just don't. But I guess we shall see. Speaking of Angela, honey, I can't wait to get into this Atlanta review. We know that Miss Peach Juice had made a comment, said that Angela better watch it or she'll F Charles. Now, here's my thing. To me, whether you like Porsha or not, because I've seen a lot of comments. and people saying people just don't like Porsha. So if Angela had not have been messing with Porsha, Porsha wouldn't have said that. If you want to say Angela was pushing it with the Drew thing, so then Porsha came back and said something, okay, cool. But that I cannot see myself ever threatening somebody with, or even making a joke, not threat, it wasn't a threat, but making a joke like they better stop before I sleep with their husband. I just am, for me, child, even if she had said I'll sleep with your daddy, which is still a little different because if the daddy got a mama and a wife, that's still, I don't know. For me, I just don't see myself making a joke like that. Let's get into it. So Porsha and Giselle were on Watch What Happens Live. And I just want to get into the part about Porsha saying what she said. Porsha Williams was questioned about her alleged comment. It ain't alleged. We know she said it because she answered, but let's get into it. And Kelly confirmed it. Porsha Williams was questioned about her alleged comment about wanting to sleep with Angela Oakley's husband, Charles Oakley, on Sunday night's Watch What Happens Live. After Angela, 43, made the claim against her on the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Porsha defended herself as she spoke of Dennis McKinley's relationship with Drew. She addressed Angela's friendship with Drew and offered updates on Kim Zolciak. I don't really care about that. But she says to Angela, Miss Inspector Gadget, because we know Angela, because I did see some longer clips. So I didn't watch the full episode yet, but I saw that whole thing, all of that play out. But I still need to watch. There's other parts of the episode I need to watch. But she says, this is on Watch What Happens Live. This is Porsha to Angela, Miss Inspector Gadget. First of all, my public apologies. But I don't know Henny, meaning Hennessy. I don't know anything that happened. It was a late night kiki. I don't know anything. But she wasn't supposed to hear that. Everybody was spilling tea. As you can hear, everybody was spilling tea. Here's my thing. You should have said it to her instead of getting in your towel and leaving. And you also could have said it in your confessional instead of saying, I don't know what was going, I don't know what, like when they asked you, did you speak about Charles? And you said no. Took me right back to Porsha's Family Matters when she lied about the whole fight that happened at the restaurant. And the producer wanted her to talk about it. And she was like, my family sweeps things under the rug. I don't know why my family doesn't want to talk about it. But then your aunt and your cousin Londi, rest in peace, Londi, came out and said you called them the night before and told them not to speak of it. But then you get on camera acting like it was them. So it took me right back to that. When on the show, you walk away from Angela. In the confessional, you say no, but then on Watch What Happens Live, you try to joke it. You try to joke her like Miss Inspector Gadget, and then blame it on the Henny. Even if the Henny made you say it, you said it. Don't they say drunk mouth speaks a sober mind? Not saying Porsha wants to sleep with Charles, but for me, I just feel like there are certain jokes I just feel like nah, and that's, to me, that's one of them. Y'all could say whatever, but for me, somebody say Taria better watch it or I'm gonna sleep with Corey. Like what? Like that is so weird to me. It's for me. For me. Y'all let me know what y'all think. So she did make a public apology and said she was sorry to Miss Inspector Gadget. No one was supposed to hear that. I just wish she would have said it to Angela that night. Y'all think Angela, if she had said, we was just joking, I wonder how that would have went with them. But see, and now to me, the tension between Angela and Porsha was even before Angela was pushing the Drew thing. It was Porsha making that comment at the dinner about, I heard Charles was spicy out of nowhere. And I've heard things about Charles. Porsha apologized on her YouTube saying, I was joking. Angela didn't know I was joking because she doesn't know me. Exactly. So then why would you joke, or why would you not tell her? But she told her after that in scene, were they at Kelly's or Shamia's again, when Porsha told her she was joking. So to me, it's like, enough with the jokes because you're not a comedian. Porsha's funny. Don't get me wrong. She can be really funny, but that to me was not a joke. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Maybe y'all thought it was harmless. Next up, on Watch What Happens Live, well, this ties into it. On Watch What Happens Live, Porsha also feels like with Drew and Angela, there's cracks in their friendship. Give me 1 second. She said, come on. I just had it. This is annoying. But she definitely said that she felt like there were cracks in Drew and Angela's friendship. Like basically, she said, I don't think it's strong as what they made it. She says she doesn't think their friendship is as strong, pretty much. But I thought I had it. I'm about to throw this. Okay, here we go. Although many have felt that Angela has been riding too hard for Drew, Porsha suggested there may have been signs of cracks in their friendship. I don't think they're close like that. There were certain signs that were in this episode to show that Angela's a little iffy about Drew for some reason. I wonder if she's thinking about when Angela had confronted Drew, like when she says this episode, but is she really talking about the episode when Angela confronted Drew about being related to Michael Jordan? And in her confessional, Angela's like, who lies about being cousins with somebody? I wonder if that's what she meant. So, which ties into after the episode, Drew was, well, during the episode, Drew was on Twitter. And at first wait a minute, was it Twitter? I think so. And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm gonna go back. The story about TD Jakes was through People magazine. And then Angela not explaining the whole Charles having a baby thing, Wendy Williams saying that was from All True Tea. But she gave the credit to WGCI, so whoever that is. Reality Blurb was who I read this article from about Porsha. I just want to make sure I'm out here giving, where I'm getting this information from. So these tweets are through the Bravo Shade Room. So Drew tweeted, "Hey, at Angela Oakley 34. I just want to say how much I appreciate you. It takes real strength to stand by someone, and you've shown me what true friendship is. I'm so grateful to have you in my corner. Thank you for being you." Then she tweeted, "This emotional roller coaster is unnecessary and not needed. The constant degrading comments and disrespect is not necessary." Then she tweeted, "If it was a true friendship, we could have just had a conversation and moved forward." Clearly, she's talking about Porsha. "You would address your friend if your friend made a mistake in your eyes." I have to agree with Drew. I'm with Drew on that. If we were as close as I thought we were, so close that you made me an ambassador for your hair, we actually hang out. Off camera, we were friends. If you felt like you finding out me and Dennis are filming or whatever, or I made a mistake, why do you have to drag me like you did? Call me a low down, dirty individual. I get, yes, Porsha being mad. Okay. But to try to drag me on TV, again, that's her baby dad. Dennis is Pilar's father. She don't want Drew and Dennis to be in the studio, but then also having conversations about her. Like, why are y'all filming like that? I get it. But to drag her like you did, let me know what y'all think. But then she tweeted, "When you continue to make an olive branch and try to address the situation to move forward in a better way, but you still get this high school mean girl energy, then finally everyone gets to see the true colors of people and how they actually feel about you, and also direct energy to the wrong person when you're really mad about something else." So those were Drew's tweets. So Drew is putting out there that her and Angela are really good friends. Angela has showed her what true friendship is like. All the while, clearly these tweets, how she feeling about Porsha and the things that Porsha is doing and saying about her in the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Don't get into the episode quite yet in the comments. Like, let me know what y'all think about this and all that. But I want to discuss the episode when I do my review so we can get down in the comments of like into the meat of the episode. Some people saying it meat, child. Some people saying it was fluff, but we'll get into all that. But y'all let me know what y'all think about Porsha's comments. You can get into that part. Porsha's comments, her apology to Miss Inspector Gadget about her comments about Charles. And look, I'm not saying again that Porsha is interested in Charles, that Porsha anything, but you sure like to joke about Charles a lot. Why? Let me know what y'all think about that. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Did Angela clear anything up for y'all? Because for maybe some of y'all, she did. For me, but I do have a feeling she's going to say, if there was a baby that happened during their marriage, it was during the period they were separated. And y'all let me know what y'all think about TD Jakes and why y'all think he may have stepped down. Do you think it's because of all the controversy or truly because he has to protect his health? I'll be back later with my Atlanta episode. Once again, thank y'all so much for subscribing, for the comments, for the shout outs, for the super stickers that y'all send. Y'all don't know how much that really means to me. And pray for your girl. I'm putting my hydrocortisone, y'all, but I just want to rip this off right now. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. See ya.